Good morning. So today I'm going to talk about setting up the environment for safety when you are managing a balance condition and wanting to avoid falls. Now this is important because we know that not only is it our physical fitness that impacts on our balance and our stability, but also what the environment is like that we're working around. So what I really want to talk about is just some things that you can think about if you are having issues with your balance or you know someone with issues around falling in balance. What can you do to make the environment as safe for them as possible? We're going to talk about the home environment today, but you can also use these ideas and principles when you're out and about in the community because that will impact on someone's balance. So first of all, we're going to think about what is the space like in your home. It's ideal to have wide pathways, so making sure that when you are moving through hallways, through dining rooms, through lounges, that there's lots of space to move. That is true if there is a lot of clutter, that it can impede someone's ability to manage the environment. It makes it harder because they can narrow their base of support. With a condition like Parkinson's, it can be distracting and can make it hard for people to move around and can actually increase the rate of freezing in Parkinson's. So keeping nice wide pathways and lots of space around beds and tables and chairs is really important. So removing some of that clutter. Thinking about like going into bathrooms and can you open the door wide enough? So making sure that there are not things behind doors, that openings can be opened wide enough to get through. If we think about bathrooms also, it's important to think if people have trouble getting on and off toilets or worried about slipping in showers, that there are adequate handles, that people aren't pulling up on the side of basins or shower doors or anything like that. So you can get rails fixed to walls, and that probably needs to be done by a builder because you would need to make sure they're put into the studs so they don't pull out. Or some surfaces can take suction handles, which you can get from mobility shops. The other things to think about are trip hazards. So things like leaving the vacuum cleaner cord out or having rugs that people can trip over. These can cause hazards for people. So with rugs and things, you can either, if you want to keep them on the floor, you can tape them down, or it's an ideal to get them off the floor altogether. And the same, not leaving any trip hazards lying around. This is really important. You know, if people do have visual problems or they're suffering with memory loss and dementia, keeping the environment the same all the time makes it very safe for them because they'll be aware of where they're going. Another thing is thinking about lighting, making sure you've got adequate lighting in things like pantries or in the bathroom, and this can be really important at night time because when it's dark, we're unable to use our vision as effectively when for balance as we would when there's a lot of light and daytime. So this can also be true for patients with vestibular conditions, that if their vestibular system is not working properly, that they will have difficulty moving around in the dark. So actually having some night lights around the place that turn on, you can get them from places like Bunnings and Mitre 10s where you walk past and they turn on. If you find light disturbs you at night time, you can look at getting a red night light because that takes away some of that blue light but still gives some light to help people move around safely. And then the last thing is just thinking about stairs. So making sure that stairs are light and bright, that there's handles, that you don't leave items on the stairs for people to step over, and that they're given adequate time when moving about their environment. So those are some of the things that you can look for in an environment if you are having someone with falls and they're having difficulty around the home. Remember, it's really important that if you are having difficulty around the home, that you look at why your balance is impaired. That if you find yourself walking around holding on to furniture, that is a sign that your balance is not in a good state and that you should do something about it. Because the other thing is, if we do hold on to furniture when we're talking to environment, if it's a piece of furniture and you actually do lose your balance, it's not very stable, can actually cause more damage. And we would call that furniture walking, and we would not recommend that. So that may be something where you need to look at more mobility equipment, because the idea with mobility equipment, just going on a bit of a tangent, is that it keeps you independent. And that's the biggest thing when managing balance and falls, is we want to keep people as independent and as strong as possible, because it does help with that. Okay, so that's some bits about the environment and managing falls at home. Hopefully that's helpful. If you've got any questions, do pop them in the comments below, and I'll speak with you another day. Thanks, bye.